In the last 5 years or so, intermittent fasting has become a very trendy topic and term that has been thrown around. And I say it is for good reason. Intermittent fasting is something that has lots of benefits, is super flexible, and easy to add to anyone's diet and lifestyle. And today I'm going to tell you 5 reasons to include it into your lifestyle and to practice intermittent fasting, as well as some really helpful tips that may help you start to implement this into your practice each day. To start things off, what exactly is intermittent fasting? Well, I'm glad you asked because it's something I've been practicing for about the last 5 years and have found really good mental and physical benefits. Basically, intermittent fasting is a type of lifestyle and eating practice in which you alternate times or days in which you are practicing fasting versus having open eating windows. The most common one is the 16-hour fast with the 8-hour eating window. That means within a 24-hour time, you're fasting for 16 hours of that time and eating for no more than 8. So a good example is someone starts their eating at about 12 in the afternoon. Their first meal is around lunchtime, or the American lunchtime, that is. And they stop eating around 8 p.m. that night. They go to bed and they fast through breakfast and they start that over again each and every day. Other examples are doing something for 12 hours of fasting versus 12 hours of eating. The warrior diet, which is called, where it's just one meal a day. You eat as many calories as you can within one meal, and then you fast the remainder of the time. Or also alternating fasting versus eating days, or even just including a fast of two different 24 hours fast within each 7-day period. So in these different examples of the benefits of intermittent fasting, there's going to be a few different ones that come up, but the reason that your body is able to grow and change in so many different ways when doing intermittent fasting is because your body is not spending so much time and energy and effort into digesting food and instead can focus on these other areas. And that's actually a really big deal because when your body is digesting food or is in a state of digestion, which can take place even hours after your last meal, it takes a lot of energy and your body's completely focused on that. However, if it doesn't have to focus on digesting food, it can really focus on these other areas. One of the biggest reasons people have heard of intermittent fasting is because it helps one lose weight. And yes, this is true, it does help you lose weight. However, it's just one of the many benefits. The reason this is there's a few different reasons. The first one is they find that people that are fasting, when they do have the eating window, since they are more condensed, they consume less calories and food, so they're more likely to lose weight or less likely to gain weight. Insulin levels and blood sugar levels also drop, so you're less likely to hold on to fat because that triggers your body to hold on to fat. Also during this time, hunger levels drop, so when you are hungry, you're less likely to consume food. And lastly, your body also switches from using glucose and sugar for burning for fuel and for energy, and instead it switches to use fat and to burn fat as energy in your body, so you're more likely to lose weight as well. Another great benefit of intermittent fasting is that it can help boost your immune system. When your body is fighting off a sickness or an illness, it puts a lot of energy and focus on trying to fight that off so it can't work on other areas that need to grow and develop. This is super important in order to stay healthy. And also there's a lot of ongoing evidence and research right now that is linking your immune system to fighting off the specific pandemic that we're in of COVID-19, which is super important and actually really cool that they're actually doing some research just to see the effects of intermittent fasting on fighting off this sickness. This next benefit of intermittent fasting is called neuroautophagy, and that is when the brain reconfigures itself, it gets rid of or reprograms different cells or neurons in the brain in order to grow and develop and become just more efficient. And this is actually a really cool thing, especially just to think that if our body doesn't have to focus on digesting food, instead it can focus on reshaping itself and that it can fight off things such as anxiety or depression. We can have less brain fog, more focus, and also it can fight off neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's or dementia. And I just think that's a really cool thing and probably, in my opinion, one of the biggest benefits of intermittent fasting. Another benefit of intermittent fasting is that it can help lower inflammation. And as I've talked about in so many different videos, inflammation is linked to just about every chronic disease out there, including depression, cancer, and heart disease, just to name a few. And just practicing intermittent fasting, again, it goes back to how your body can heal itself when it doesn't have to digest food as often. and it can help fight off problems such as inflammation. And the last benefit should probably come to no surprise based on the few examples I've given so far, but those that practice intermittent fasting can have longer lifespans as well as a better quality of life. And that's just based off of that your body can fight off different diseases, based on how it can do so much for our brain, how our cells can heal, as well as that it can fight off inflammation, so it also can prevent problems such as cancer and heart disease, just to name a few. So that's the last benefit of intermittent fasting. Now I'm going to get into how you can include this into your day starting as soon as tomorrow, or even today, I guess. And the first thing I really want to stress is that intermittent fasting is meant to be flexible. So really make it however it fits in with your schedule and in your life and what your needs and goals are. So my needs and my goals and my life may be a lot different than yours. So instead of going straight to maybe an 8-hour eating window, which may be a big jump for some people, why don't you just start cutting down the times you eat, like stop eating late at night. So just say to yourself, I'm not going to eat after 8 p.m. for 2 weeks. And that's a good place to start. From there, you can maybe start shortening it and maybe not eating breakfast, or really breakfast can just be your first meal of the day, which that's what breakfast technically means. It means just breaking your fast. So I still eat breakfast, it's just later in the day. So just continuing to push it back. Every now and then, even I do this, I have hunger pains, or maybe I did a tough workout and I need to eat a little bit earlier, or maybe because of my schedule that day, I need to eat a little bit earlier, or sometimes even later, unfortunately, but that's okay. Give yourself some grace. Like I said, it's meant to be flexible. And the same thing, if someone asks you to go get breakfast and you normally don't eat at that time, it's just one meal. It won't hurt you, it won't kill you. So go enjoy that time, don't stress out about it, and then the next day you can get back on that horse. So I hope you learned a thing or two, and there's some things that you can apply to your own life about intermittent fasting, and just maybe thinking about what you can change in your eating and fasting windows. I think it's worth just about everyone giving it a shot, just because there's so many different benefits and because it's so flexible that anyone can make it work into their life and their diet. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give me a like and a subscribe. It really helps me out and helps me with the mission of helping people live a healthy and meaningful life.